If the dollar were to collapse, I think that the first thing that would happen is people would likely stop driving. They would stop driving because there would be no way to pay for fuel and no way to, well, I guess insurance would matter at that point. But regardless, I think that bikes would go up in value quite a bit. But the caveat is value that at that point is perceived because there is nothing backing the dollar because it has collapsed. So you'd probably be trading, I don't know, half a cow for a bike. I don't know what the ratio or exchange rate would be. But if you are watching this channel, don't be worried because you likely own a bike already or 7. What kind of bike would be ideal in this situation? More than likely something like this, where it's got a 3x, a 7 or 8 speed out back, 26-inch tires, pretty much something that you can interchange parts with all of the, department store bikes very easily. This in and of itself wasn't a department store bike, but I could swap parts if need be. Now, it is reasonable to assume that more than likely another country would try to come and invade ours as well as take over the population. It'd be a whole thing. Tactically speaking, you would have a better chance of getting away or evading capture and control, if unwanted, for a longer period of time if you were on a bike. It's just a fact. Another key thing to think about is gonna be, how are you taking care of your bike? What are you gonna do when parts go bad, when things break, and where are you gonna go to obtain those things or commandeer them? Whatever it would be called at that point. I highly doubt that bike shops are, one, gonna be open, but also not likely to be willing to trade for your canned goods, since that'll likely be what you have to offer if you haven't eaten through that already. So start taking care of your bike, keep certain things on hand, lubes, extra tubes, things like that, and make sure that your bike isn't getting abused in that kind of scenario. That's the point at which you want to stop hitting big drops. You don't want to start blowing out tires and sending and blasting big berms. You would want to ride this like it is your grandmother's beach cruiser you're taking down to the mailbox, and she pretty much said she will disown you if you let it out of your sight for more than 2 seconds. Oddly specific, but I know that feeling. If you were to find yourself living large, being a proud bike owner, and being the envy of all your starving neighbors, you would be able to go a lot more places and cover a lot more distance than people that are just relying on tennis shoes that are probably worn through at that point. Is there a certain type of cyclist that is going to be better suited for survival if this does go down? Well, bike packers have been training for this all their lives. And lastly, how do you keep your bike protected? Pedal wrenches make for great blunt objects, and your tire repair kit, if you don't have one of these, it's plausible deniability for why it's in there. So highly recommend it. Plus you get a lot of leverage, so whenever you are trying to get a nice hole for that plug to go into, it just works quite well. So thanks for sticking with me and just hearing out this thought process on what in the hell we would do if the dollar collapsed and we had bikes. I'm sure there's a lot of things I didn't cover, so leave them down below. What is your plan? What do you keep in stock and on hand? And would you barter some of your bikes while keeping others, and why would you do that? Or keep certain bikes over a different one? I don't know. It's a whole train of thought. So I've got a 14-hour drive to ponder and come up with my reasoning and my decisions, and I would love to hear yours. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.